Hey everyone, my name is Casey, and on this episode of Patina Pit Stop, I'm going to introduce you to my new daily driver. Her name is Applebee's, because she's fancy. You know the thing. So, if you've been watching my channel, you know that my current daily driver is this 1986 Chevrolet S10. I call it Shane Falco. This little truck has been a pretty good truck for me. It is an 86 base model S10. It has, and when I say base, it has no options. Like, let me go through the list of options it does not have. Pretty much you name an option, it doesn't have it. No power windows, no tilt, no power door locks, no cruise control, no power steering, no carpet, no power brakes. Let's stop right there. No power brakes. In 1986, in America, you could buy a vehicle without power brakes. It's true. This truck, no power brakes. No air conditioning. No air conditioning. No air conditioning. It's a big deal, especially when you live in Tennessee, because it gets hot. As of this recording, it is December 3rd. I'm in a t-shirt. The high temperature today is 70 degrees. 70 degrees in December. You can imagine what it's like in July, August, June, September. It's hot, okay? I mean, I need air conditioning. And it's a 4-speed manual transmission, not a 5-speed. It's only got 4 gears. I can't tell you how many times I've been pulling onto an on-ramp, 3rd gear, 4th gear, back to 4th gear. It's happened quite a few times. You would think I would get used to it, but I haven't. Anyway, so the S10, I love it. It's a great car, great truck. It's only let me down twice. It's let me down twice. But one time I had to push it. But besides that, it's been a good truck. I love the truck. I'm not selling the truck either. I want to make it a drag car. Don't tell Stacy. Stacy's my wife. And yes, I'm Casey. She's Stacy. We're adorable. If you want to see more of Stacy, comment below. She likes being in TikToks. She likes doing that. The two problems with this truck is, one, no air conditioning, and B, it uses oil really bad. Like, it burns oil excessively. It was leaking oil. I pulled the valve cover gasket, replaced the valve cover gasket, and when I pulled the valve cover off, it is just caked with burnt oil. This thing has not been well maintained. Pretty much when I get gas, I put oil in it. It uses a lot of oil. I'm worried this thing's not going to last. I put 5,000 miles on it in the 10 months I've owned it, and I've changed the oil 4 times in 5,000 miles, and the oil's dirty almost immediately every time. I've flushed it. I've put transmission fluid in it. I've put, not just transmission fluid, I've put like half a quart of transmission fluid in it and ran it, trying to flush out. I bought some of that little engine cleaning stuff in a can. It's using a lot of oil. I don't think it's going to last. So a couple months ago, not about a month ago, I messaged my dad and I was like, hey, I might need something else. I need something else to drive because I'm afraid this thing's not going to last. My only criteria was cheap and has air conditioning. And my dad sends me a picture of this 2002 Mercedes-Benz C240. I don't know what that means. 275,000 miles on it. My knee-jerk reaction was no. But I was like, if my dad's showing it to me, I'll humor him. $500. So let's do a little walk around. All right, so let's give you a rundown on this beautiful automobile. Now, first things first, I know this is not going to fit in the channel because it's not, you know, it's patina pit stop, but it does have some rust. And see? So that's a good start. It's rusted. The little emblem here is missing. I got an idea to fix that though. Fender is dented. So apparently the story with this is the guy that owned it, the alarm works. I didn't know I had an alarm. The story is the guy that owned it was an older gentleman, like 80 years old, and he was using the Braille method to drive. So he's hit this fender. Check out this fender. And I've pulled that out, so it's better. That wheel is a junkyard wheel. What is that? Oh, someone touched that up. I know it probably looks pretty decent on camera, but this thing is pretty beat up. That quarter panel's been painted. It has a Cooper, Pirelli, a General, and a tire. It's a tire. A little dented up here too. Like I said, this guy he was rough on it. Just gonna go off again. Okay, good. I don't want the people mad at me. Here's the best part about the car though. Look at the interior. This thing is super nice. The seats aren't tore up. The dash isn't cracked, which down south, that's kind of a thing. Like, it's really in nice shape. All right, so story. Old man owned it. He bought this car used in 2003. 11,000 miles on it when he bought it. 80 years old. Drove it. Pretty much, I guess, the last car he ever drove. C. So that's a C class. I don't know anything about Mercedes. It's a C240. I don't know what the 240 means either. That's the lower class. I think it's like this is kind of like your entry level Mercedes-Benz. It is a 2.6 liter V6, which you would think it'd be a C260, but it's not. I don't know why. Everything works. So when my dad found this, it had been sitting for a year and a half. It had a dead battery, a dead alternator. One wheel was mismatched. It was the spare tire, and the wheel was gone on the passenger front. It had the passenger side mirror was missing, or it was actually in the trunk. It was broke off. Probably whatever happened to the fender happened to the door, happened to the mirror, probably. My dad put a battery in it, got it home, put an alternator on it. He got it from Amazon, so I'm sure this alternator will last 30, 40 days, and then I'll need a new one. Put one junkyard wheel, one junkyard mirror on it. He did an oil change, air filters, you know, miscellaneous stuff. It does need rear brakes. I have not started driving it yet because we haven't got the title switched over to my name yet. So I'm still driving the S10 for now. He put one tire on it. That's the tire that says tire. That's the tire he put on it, which, you know, I don't blame him. I bought the cheapest tire in the world too. Everything seems to work. Air conditioning works. It does only blow out the defrost, but I have a plan for that. All the power windows, power door locks work. Oh, here's one thing that is messed up that and goes up and down. And this thing doesn't lock. So I'm gonna have to. My thought is I'll probably just put some self tappers wherever I want the steering wheel, or a ratchet strap, or some zip ties. You know, I mean, let's stay true to me here, okay? I might wash it with a Scotch-Brite pad to give it a flat matte look because, like I said, on camera it probably looks pretty decent, but this thing is really scratched up, especially black paint. It's got all kinds of little dings and scratches. So my dad brought this up to me, and so I'm like, okay, Dad, you paid $500 for it. Alternator, tire, wheel, mirror. What do you got in it? What do I owe you? He said, well, I got about $1,000 in it. I'm like, okay. That's pretty much, got a lot of miles on it. I wouldn't put a whole lot more into it. And, we got to do some brakes. But if I can drive it for 6 months, a year, that's worth $1,000. My dad says, here's the deal. I'm like, uh-oh. What, Dad? I said, Merry Christmas. What do you mean, Dad? He goes, don't worry about it. Don't worry about what? Don't worry about the $1,000? He goes, yeah, you can have it. One condition. He got me on the one condition. He says, can't modify it. Can't modify it. You just gotta leave it alone. So don't lower it. Don't put dual exhaust on it. I was already thinking of lift kit and mud tires and a roof rack. My loophole is I think if I wash it with a Scotch Brite pad, that doesn't cost me any money. I'm pretty much going to drive it until I feel like it's not safe to drive anymore. And then I'll make it a cart or put an LS in it. I won't do that. I thought about pulling the doors off. Dad, don't listen. Dad, if you're watching, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. But for everyone else, I think it'd be cool to take the doors off and then take it to Cletus and Cars and do burnouts with it until the transmission dies. Like, send it out in a blaze of glory. But that's the Mercedes. New daily driver. I'm excited about it, mainly because the radio works. I appreciate you guys watching the video. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, one of those things, all of those things. But I appreciate you watching. And I don't know that this car will be on the channel very often, but if you guys want to see more of it or want to see some shenanigans, maybe I'll take it for a test drive in the next video. And once I get the brakes done, I might do a brake job, video too. So thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. We'll see you later.